And so this is what motivated this experiment we did in Seattle with the Seattle and King County housing authorities that we call Creating Moves to Opportunity, where we basically sought to understand why is it that people are not moving to these neighborhoods where we think their kids would do better. And we, in order to try to figure that out, we tested whether giving people assistance in moving to these high opportunity places would make a difference in where they choose to live. So just as a bit of institutional background, in the US, we spend about $45 billion a year on affordable housing programs, the largest component of which are housing choice vouchers, which go to a couple million families a year. They provide rental assistance to the tune of about $1,500 a month in Seattle, so quite a substantial amount. And the idea is to try to give people stable housing, break the cycle of poverty, and so forth. But what we and others noticed is, despite receiving those vouchers, which should make a number of neighborhoods more affordable, these families were still living in high poverty, lower opportunity areas. And so what we sought to do in this experiment was to test, why is that the case? Is it that these families have a preference to stay in these neighborhoods because it's closer to their jobs, closer to family, and so forth? Or are there barriers that are preventing them from making those moves? Do they maybe lack information? Are they having trouble navigating things with the landlord? Are they having trouble finding the listings? This is not an easy market to find housing in. And so, and the other thing I'll note is it's also a place where I think issues of behavioral economics, I'm reminded actually a little bit about the recent New York Times column you had about wild problems. This for these families, this is that kind of problem, right? Like, you've not done this before. You've not lived in a totally different neighborhood, et cetera, right? And so we connect you with a counselor. Think of it as like a nonprofit kind of broker who helps you navigate this process. If you want to move to a high opportunity place, they'll help you figure that out. And in a randomized trial, we show that this dramatically changes where people choose to live. 60% of people in the treatment group end up moving to a high upward mobility place, compared to 15% in the control.